Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at, well, a really unique moment. It's when the global music phenomenon BTS actually addressed the White House press briefing room.
Yeah, and this wasn't just, a quick photo opportunity. I
Mhm.
mean, think about BTS. Multiple Grammy nominations. They're
Mhm.
genuine international icons. Their fan base, the army, it's massive. Fills stadiums worldwide. And the awards, MTV, American Music Awards, you name it.
It's incredible, and it really shows how their music, coming from South Korean artists, just connects globally. It goes
Yeah,
beyond language, beyond cultural barriers. It's a huge level of impact.
absolutely. Few artists reach that kind of level. And this visit, happening during Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, that timing was significant.
Definitely. They were there specifically to talk about really pressing issues: anti-Asian hate crimes, Asian inclusion, diversity. Plus, they had a meeting scheduled with President Biden on these topics.
Right. So our mission here in this deep dive is to really unpack the messages BTS delivered there. Why did this moment matter so much?
Yeah.
And also, let's look at some of the English expressions they used. It's fascinating for understanding culture and, well, great for language learners, too.
Okay, let's set the scene. The White House. What was it like? Reports mention this, like electric atmosphere, huge crowds of fans outside.
Hundreds, apparently. And inside the briefing room, packed. Journalists from all over the world. Lots from South Korea and Japan, naturally.
And the online viewership tells a story, too. Nearly 300,000 people streaming it live.
Yeah, that's enormous. It really underscores their influence, doesn't it?
It really does. And the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, she welcomed them. She acknowledged their role, as youth ambassadors, promoting respect, positivity.
Mm-hmm. And she also mentioned what the Biden administration has been doing. Things like the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act,
Yeah.
bringing back the White House initiative on AA and HPI communities.
Right. So that context makes BTS's presence feel even more necessary and powerful.
It really does. So then we heard from the members themselves. RM, the leader, he actually spoke in English at the beginning and the end.
Oh, right.
He started off saying, "It was a great honor to be invited to the White House today to discuss the important issues of anti-Asian hate crimes, Asian inclusion, and diversity." And he wrapped it up by thanking them for the chance to speak about these vital causes and to remind ourselves of what we can do as artists.
That's a strong framing. And then the other members, they spoke in Korean, right? With
Yeah.
the translator?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Jin was first expressing solidarity.
Mm.
He said, "We joined the White House to stand with the ANHPI community and to celebrate." Simple, but powerful.
Yeah. And Jimin's words, they hit hard, too.
Very much so. He said they were devastated by the recent surge of hate crimes, including Asian American hate crimes, and that their goal was, quote, "to put a stop on this and support the cause by taking this chance to voice ourselves once again." That phrase, voice ourselves, really stands out.
It does. Then Jungkook, he talked about their global reach, didn't he?
Yeah, he mentioned how it's still amazing to them that their music from South Korea connects with so many people worldwide. He said it's transcending languages and cultural barriers. Oh, and he called music this amazing and wonderful unifier of all things. Beautifully put.
Such a positive message about connection. And Suga.
Suga focused on individuality and acceptance. He said, "It's not wrong to be different. I think equality begins when we open up and embrace all of our differences." That's a really core message of acceptance, isn't it?
Absolutely. And V, he brought it down to fundamental respect.
Right. He expressed hope that today is one step forward to respecting and understanding each and every one as a valuable person. Just basic human dignity.
Yeah. And J-Hope gave a shout out to their fans.
He did. He acknowledged the army, worldwide, who have different nationalities and cultures and use different languages, and expressed their gratitude for that connection. It highlights that relationship they have.
Okay, let's maybe zoom in on some of those key English phrases. RM's great honor, for instance. What does that really mean in this context?
Well, great honor. It's more than just saying thanks for having me. It signals a really deep sense of privilege, of pride. It shows they understood the weight, the significance of being invited there. Like you might say, it was a great honor to meet the president.
Okay, got it. So for practice, you could adapt it. Like, it's a great honor, pleasure to be part of this team.
Right, exactly. Now, Jimin mentioned the surge of hate crimes. Let's break that down. Surge.
A surge, like a sudden increase.
Precisely. A sudden, significant increase, like a wave. And hate crimes, well, those are crimes driven by prejudice, bias against someone's race, religion, identity.
So a surge of hate crimes means a rapid, alarming rise in those specific types of
You
crimes.
got it. Like, experts are concerned about the recent surge of misinformation online.
Okay, so practice could be. The charity saw a surge decline in donations after the campaign, or there was a sudden surge lack of interest in the topic.
Jimin also said they wanted to put a stop on this. Pretty direct phrase. Very direct. To put a stop on something just means to end it, to make it cease. Like, the principal had to put a stop on the noise in the hallway.
Right, so practice. We need to put a stop on address this wasteful spending. Or can we put a stop on continue this argument? It's not productive. And that other phrase Jimin used, voice ourselves. What's the nuance there?
To voice ourselves means to express your opinions, your feelings, your beliefs, to make your perspective heard, usually publicly. It implies speaking up, not staying silent. Like, the meeting is an opportunity for everyone to voice themselves.
Makes sense. So practice. It's important to voice yourself, stay quiet when you see injustice, or the survey allows employees to voice themselves, remain anonymous about workplace issues. Okay, and Hee Jung-kook's phrase, transcending languages and cultural barriers. Let's unpack transcending.
Transcending means going beyond, rising above,
Yeah.
like overcoming limitations. So languages and cultural barriers are the obstacles, the difficulties in understanding that come from different languages, different customs.
So their music goes beyond those difficulties. It connects people anyway.
Exactly. It resonates despite those differences. Like, great art has the power to transcend time and culture.
Okay. Practice. Online communication is transcending reinforcing physical distance, or finding common ground requires transcending focusing on purely national interests. Then Suga's point, open up and embrace all of our differences. Open up and embrace.
Yeah, two parts there. Open up means becoming receptive, willing to listen or consider. And embrace means to accept something willingly, even enthusiastically. So open up and embrace differences means be receptive to diversity and welcome it. Like, successful teams often open up and embrace different working styles.
Got it. Practice. To learn, you must open up and embrace new information. Or the community decided to open up and embrace or ignore the refugees seeking shelter. And finally, V's hope for one step forward.
A step forward. That signifies progress, an action or an event that moves things in a positive direction towards a goal. Like, negotiating the ceasefire was a crucial step forward.
Okay, practice. Launching the pilot program is a step forward setback for the project. Or what's the next logical step forward obstacle in our plan? Now, thinking bigger picture. The cultural significance of this. I mean, a K-pop group at the White House briefing podium, that's unusual.
It's incredibly unusual,
Mm.
especially non-U.S. citizens talking about these kinds of social, even political issues. It just speaks volumes about their global influence, particularly with young people. And the White House clearly recognized that. That line, people really care about what you say, that says it all.
And it wasn't out of the blue, right? They have a history of speaking out.
Exactly. There's support for Black Lives Matter, previous statements against discrimination, that history likely paved the way for this invitation. They've shown they're willing to use their platform.
And the visibility this provides for Asians globally, but especially in the U.S. during ANHPI Heritage Month, that representation matters.
Hugely important. And we have to remember the context. This visit happened against a backdrop of rising anti-Asian hate. Real tragic events. Learning that one of the children killed in the Uvalde shooting was a BTS fan. It just adds this layer of deep sadness and underscores why these conversations are so critical.
Yeah, that's incredibly poignant. Reports also mention the scene in the briefing room itself, packed, like unusually packed.
Yeah, some compared it to crowds during the Trump era, apparently. Just shows the level of interest. And the press corps, even veteran journalists, seemed genuinely respectful, even excited. Someone called them the Korean Beatles.
Wow, the Korean Beatles. That captures something of their unique status.
It really does. They command this kind of attention and respect across so many different areas.
So wrapping this part up, BTS used this immense global platform. They used it to speak directly against anti-Asian hate, to champion inclusion, diversity, and, well, the unifying power of music, all from the White House.
Absolutely historic. And for anyone learning English, watching and analyzing this kind of real-world event is so valuable. You get vocabulary and context, you see how language is actually used, and you engage with really important current issues. These phrases they use, they're not just textbook examples, they're part of meaningful communication.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How can other global figures, artists, influencers use their platforms effectively,
Yeah.
to foster understanding, to push back against prejudice? And what other real-world moments like this can we learn from, both for language and just for understanding our world better?
It's a great question. It definitely highlights the potential, maybe even the responsibility that comes with having such a massive global voice today. How you choose to use it really matters.